I like to think of life as one of the greatest teachers that there are when it comes to learning. And, it's going to be some curveballs in there. Some things, you might have to dodge a little obstacle here and there, some things that are pretty much just unexpected, unaccounted for. We can't expect everything to go exactly as planned. That's just not really how nature works. It's elements of mystery, elements of surprise, different things that we couldn't have possibly have thought of, and that just ended up being a circumstance in our situation. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Chaixolatte. I hope you all are having an awesome day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. Today I decided to go out on a spontaneous adventure to the beach, and while I was there I just decided to be very intentional with my energy and my grounding process and everything, and I actually took the time out to journal. And as I was journaling and really just gathering my thoughts, I was really taking the opportunity to take in everything that the beach had to offer. So that was the sounds of the wind just, whirring past my ears. I really was just watching the waves crash into the shoreline in a rhythmic type of pattern, and I was looking up at the clouds, how beautiful they were, how big they were, how all of them had different kinds of shapes, and they were moving in different directions with the wind and stuff like that. And I was looking at how bright the sun was, how it was, still hidden behind some clouds, but still shining through in a really iridescent, low kind of orange tone. It was very beautiful, and I was very grateful to be taking in the moment. But I'm mentioning that experience in today's video because as I was watching the clouds and they were moving in their rhythmic, not even rhythmic, I can't even say rhythmic, they were moving in a sense that was really slow and still, but still like purposeful and graceful with the wind. And something kind of just stuck in my mind when I was visualizing that. Like I was literally gazing and watching the clouds just do their thing. And as I was watching this all go down in front of me, I couldn't help but just really zeroing in on the fact that they are really in sync with the wind. They are very aligned with the wind, like there's no forcefulness to the clouds. They're just kind of flowing and doing their own thing. They really just surrender to wherever the wind is pushing them along to. And I really thought it was a really beautiful topic for today's YouTube video. I saw the clouds as the perfect analogy for how we are to move in this life that we're granted, right? How the clouds were just surrendering to the wind and going with the flow, not fighting back. Everything was very graceful and beautiful in movement, and there wasn't a fight, there wasn't a struggle. I feel that in our own lives there's so much that we try to control and keep a grip on, which there's a time and a place to have control over certain things in your life. Obviously if we're not in control of our ship, it can be steered in different directions and such like that. But in this instance, I mean, in instances where there are certain situations where you can't control, obviously surrender, allow things to go their course, and have faith that everything's going to work out. Manage what you can manage in that situation and surrender to the rest, right? I'm more so speaking in the terms of the fact that our life journey, we have no idea for certain exactly how every single portion of our life is going to go. If I were to ask myself 10 years ago, if I would think that I would be exactly where I am in this moment with the mind development that I have in this moment, I would be completely baffled, really. Like, I wouldn't have known back then that I would be where I am today as far as my mental state and just where I am within myself physically and, emotionally and things like that. So, of course, we have our plans, we have our goals, and different things, agendas, milestones that we would like to reach within our lives. And that's awesome. That's wonderful that you have a manifestation of how you would like your life to go. Very beautiful. But we also have to be flexible, I would say, when it comes to life, because I like to think of life as one of the greatest teachers that there are when it comes to learning. And, it's going to be some curveballs in there. Some things, you might have to dodge a little obstacle here and there, some things that are pretty much just unexpected, unaccounted for. We can't expect everything to go exactly as planned. That's just not really how nature works. It's elements of mystery, elements of surprise, different things that we couldn't have possibly have thought of, and that just ended up being a circumstance in our situation, And I want to really emphasize on the idea of being flexible and being open to the different things that life presents to us when it comes to our experience. I believe that a very beautiful part of our life journey is the fact that we don't know exactly where we're going to be at exactly what time everything's going to be happening. That would be very mundane and predictable, right? And let's be real, life is very unpredictable. And I feel like that's one of the awesome things about it, to be honest. Think about it. If you were watching your favorite show, I don't know what type of shows y'all like to watch, but let's just say we watching a TV show on Netflix. If you knew exactly how everything was gonna go, if they didn't have a little in there, a little curveball in there, a little plot twist, keep you on your toes type situation. If they didn't have those spur of the moment type of events, they would not be able to hold your attention. And it's kind of just like that in real life. There's different lessons that we have to learn and different experiences that we have to go through that end up making and shaping us into the person that we are or the people that we end up becoming. And I feel like when we are more open and receptive to allow life to teach us what it is that we're to be learning, and when we're open to just accept things as it's coming and just being in the space of, like I said, acceptance, letting things come in as they come in, I feel like we're more easygoing. Like, life becomes a lot easier when you're not constantly on guard and at fists and conflicts with what's going on around you. Another characteristic about the clouds that I want to touch on really quickly, since it's popping into my mind, right, is the idea that they are so light and so airy. Just the different characteristics of the clouds you can see. And maybe this will encourage you, to take an opportunity to break away from all of the stresses of life, right? Take a break, go outside, whether it's sunrise, sunset, any time of day, preferably when the sun isn't completely out here blazing. Okay, but take time, go out in nature, and literally watch what I'm telling you. Look at the clouds and just take a moment to really see and embody, take in what you see and try to embody it into your own life as far as the characteristics that I'm describing when it comes to these clouds, because I saw that in some instances, some clouds were really stringy and feathery and whiter in color, and they moved a little bit more swiftly across the sky. Some clouds were more, I want to call them chunky, little chunky cotton ball, fluff ball type things. Some of them had more mass. They seemed more heavy, and you could actually see the difference in their color. They were more gray toned, had a little bit more of a darker hue to them, but they were walking across the sky in more of like a slower kind of stance, a slower type of cadence. I feel like that ties back into how we are as people and how we take on the different things that are going on in our life and whatnot. Being flexible, being open to change. I would hate to burst anybody's bubble out there, but if you think that you are meant to stay the same throughout the entirety of your life path, your life journey, life is going to be rough for you. Because one thing that I do know is that things will always be changing. Life is going to happen. Things are going to happen that we just can't account for most of the time. And if you're not open to change, if you're not adaptable with change, like if something switches up on you last minute and you're not able to adjust, it can get rough for you out here, which is why I'm bringing up the idea of the clouds and how their characteristics are, so that we can try to embody that in a sense, All in all, with this message, I am saying, go with the flow of life. Do not fight it. Don't fight it. If you're in a space in your life where things are seeming very dark, it's kind of hard to get your footing, that's understandable. We all have our dark moments. And it's important to acknowledge how you feel in that moment. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to revisit the past if you need to, because more than likely there's things in the past that we have to come to terms with, forgive, understand, so that when we move forward into our life, we don't forget the lessons that we needed to learn by going through those situations. Handling those harder times of our life with a sense of grace, understanding, okay, I'm here in this moment, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm taking in everything that I need to take in, and even being grateful for those times, because even those hard moments, those harsh moments teach us. And something that I really do believe in strongly, it's not the act of going through a hard situation or like making a mistake or like the rough patches of life. It's not going through that makes the situation bad. It's more so when you go through the situation and you don't learn from the situation. Kind of veering off topic, that could be a completely different topic for a whole nother day. But what I'm saying is, go with the flow. Just like the waves in the sea, the water out there, it does not, it looks like it's fighting because it's whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You get what I'm saying? But it's all got its purpose. It's all aligning with the flow of nature. The sea got its own current. And just like how these different embodiments in nature have their own flow and their own rhythm about going about its path and its journey, we also do. And once we can learn to be open to what's in front of us and being open and flexible with how things may change in our lives, we'll be more open to what's to come. Because I guarantee you, if you go with the flow and you don't resist, you take things as they are, and you do the best that you can with what you have, going with the flow becomes easy, and we will eventually end up exactly where we are meant to be, because we're going with nature. We're moving alongside the waves. We're moving within our life purpose, and everything is happening for a reason. So I hope that I brightened someone's day out there that needed to hear this message. Honestly, this is just something that came to me, like I said, as I was enjoying my own day of freedom. And I thought that the message would be valuable to others out there. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely leave a like down below and comment how you feel about my message and if it resonates with you. Also, subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any more of my uploads, because I have more awesomeness coming and I would love to touch as many people out there that are willing to get on my frequency. So with all of that being said, spread peace, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.